I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. I don't spend my time pontificating about high-concept things. I spend my time solving engineering and manufacturing problems. My motivation for all my companies has been to be involved in something that I thought would have a significant impact on the world. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Great companies are built on great products. The idea of lying on a beach as my main thing just sounds like the worst. It sounds horrible to me. I would go bonkers. I would have to be on serious drugs. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. I would just question things. It would infuriate my parents that I wouldn't just believe them when they said something, 'cause I'd ask them why. And then I'd consider whether that response made sense given everything else I knew. Optimism, pessimism, fuck that. We're going to make it happen. As God is my bloody witness, I'm hell-bent on making it work. I don't spend my time pontificating about what might be wrong with the world. I just try to create things I want to exist. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. I don't believe in the process. In fact, when I interview a potential employee and he or she says that it's all about the process, I see that as a bad sign. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. I don't think it's a good idea to plan to sell a company. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, life and your job are gonna be quite miserable. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. It is a mistake to hire huge numbers of people to get a complicated job done. Numbers will never compensate for talent in getting the right answer. Two people who don't know something or know better than one will tend to slow down progress and will make the task incredibly expensive. The world is getting better at an accelerating rate. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. I'm interested in things that change the world or that affect the future and wondrous new technology. Constantly seek criticism. A well-thought-out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. The path to the CEO's office should not be through the CFO's office, and it should not be through the marketing department. You need operators in the key positions in a company. The reality is, if you want to be good at something, you have to practice. I would like to allocate more time to dating, though. I need to find a girlfriend. That's why I need to carve out just a little more time. I think maybe even another 5 to 10. How much time does a woman want a week? Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. This improves the odds of success. I think most of the important stuff on the internet has been built. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. Life is too short for long-term grudges. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is a disaster. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse.